Greetings and welcome to the Cerebral Women Art Talks podcast. I'm Phyllis Hollis, your host. As an extension of my Instagram page, Cerebral Women, this podcast offers insights into the visual art world. I interview artists, mainly artists of color and female artists, who will freely articulate what inspires their creativity. In addition, you'll hear interesting perspectives from dedicated art professionals who work with artists and the art institutions that feature them. I'm confident that collectively, these individuals will indeed stimulate your mind as they do our eyes. Please know these interviews are conducted in my Manhattan apartment, so please forgive the background sounds of city life. Welcome to the Cerebral Women Art Talks podcast. In this episode, I feature Raphaël Barontini. He was born and currently lives in France. He studied in France and attended Hunter College of Art in New York City. Raphaël has developed a singular and bold pictorial work, moving from a classical practice on canvas to large-scale textile and volume pieces that can be performative. He questions the portrait and the symbolism of representations in an aesthetic of collage that combines photography, silkscreen prints, and digital prints. His work takes the form of flags, banners, hangings, tapestries, or even ceremonial costumes such as capes. Raphaël has been in several solo exhibitions in France, Spain, Turkey, and throughout the United States. He has participated in several group shows, and he has been the recipient of several awards and residency programs. Please visit cerebralwomen.com for his expanded bio. Enjoy this episode featuring Raphaël Barontini. Welcome, Raphaël, to my Cerebral Women Art Talks podcast. I'm delighted to feature you.
Thank you.
So when in your life did you discover your artistic passion?
I think I was a still child. I was practicing music before making any visual arts. So I was in a band, a carnival band, playing drums and percussions. And at this time, I was in mid school, and my art teachers, were telling me that I should have maybe a proper education in arts, visual arts. So I started to be interested in painting and all the different language of visual arts. So it was kind of early.
So as you began to study, was there a particular artist or a painting that really influenced you?
My first access to art, to the contemporary arts, when I was in high school, was the American artist from the pop art movement. I think that's why I'm still using printing a lot in my work. But when I was in art school, I really had a crush on different artists. And also when I was studying in New York at Hunter College, I discovered all the very good artists that were not known in France at this time. And it's a shame, but, collagists like Romare Bearden, painters like Kerry James Marshall, all these artists were very important when I was still an art student. And also it really gave me this approach to be what I wanted to express as a mixed-race artist. I was not really supported when I was a student in my school, and the work I was developing around representation and figuration were not too much on top of the list of my teachers. And so that was in France. And to be in New York and seeing a movement of artists since decades from Black and brown communities have this language very close to mine was very important for me. So yeah, definitely the discovery of work by African American artists was very important in my career.
How would you define your practice?
I define myself as a painter since the beginning because it was my main interest. But rapidly, when I was studying at the Beaux-Arts in France, the art school, I was in a painting class. But after 2 or 3 years, I started to express my work of painting in volume or through installations of textile. I was still using canvas, but for creating banners or flags. And more, I have different languages in my work. So I still have this work on canvas, who refers also to the history of art and all these codes of portraits. And also, I think because during my childhood, I was a lot in the Caribbean, because I have part of my family who is from Guadeloupe. And I saw all the traditions of carnival, the costumes, the banners, the flags. I started to have a work of painting, but who was really influenced by the forms of carnival. So I have all these textile pieces, and now these textile pieces can be also activated in performances. So I have mainly painting, installation of textile, and performances in my work.
As you're preparing, let's say, for a performance, right?
Mm-hmm.
How would you compare that to preparing to create a painting or to work with, materials in the canvas?
It's really different because in canvas, it's something who is visible for the whole time if it's preserved. So you have an image, a fixed image, and it's something bidimensional, also bidimensional. For a performance, it's really something that happened just a moment. So you have spectators who come for it. And my approach of performance is really related to the community. So I try to imagine collective moments of memories also. So, for example, I did a performance in Savannah at the SCAD Museum. And it was a commission to celebrate the life and legacy of Frederick Douglass. And a part of my exhibition was outside the museum in big windows. And the show was open like the whole day. You could have access to the show just in the windows. And it was in the streets. So I imagined a performance of revealing during the opening. And I worked with a high school marching band in Savannah. And we did a kind of procession to celebrate Frederick Douglass. So we chose a playlist of tracks referring to the civil rights movement, and also some hip hop songs who was referring to this political fight for freedom. And every single windows like a march, like a procession, and I like to create this kind of collective moments of memory and tribute.
So when you're working, do you listen to music?
A lot, a lot, and also it's funny because throughout the day, you really have different vibes. So the morning when I'm like focusing on what I'm gonna do during the day, I'm like listening very calm music or like free jazz, stuff like that. So I can hear Savannah, I can hear Charlie Parker, this kind of music of jazzmen. And after that, I really like listen a lot of hip hop. So it's more hip hop vibes during the day. And at night, when I have very long night of work, because it happens when I have deadlines, it's more techno and electro music. So yeah, it's really depending.
Right. You need that beat.
Exactly.
How do you keep learning?
I keep learning, seeing exhibition, first of all. I think it's to still have a lot of curiosity for other artists, young and older. So I'm based in Paris, and I still have my community and friends of artists. So I think it's very important as an artist to be close to your contemporary friends, and the solidarity in the arts world is important, I think, between artists. And also, I love to see and support very young artists who are just at the beginning of their career. So I'm now trying also to collect new young artists, and all this I think helped me to still be in touch with the very young works. Also, I think.
And when did the titles of your work enter the creative process?
Always at the end. Sometimes I need a lot of time to really decide. Some paintings can have 1, 2, 3 titles. And finally, I find the right one. I read a lot of poetry, so sometimes it can come from poems. I love to find titles for exhibitions, for example. That's a hobby. So sometimes I'm like writing possible titles for upcoming exhibitions, just for fun. So yeah, the titles are at the end, and they have an impact, I think, on the narrative you give in the work. So it's very important to let maybe a space for the viewer, and imagination also for the viewer. So I try to find the right one in that perspective.
And when you're creating a work, do you think about who the viewer is?
Not really. I really do what I want, and no, this is not very important for me. And also, I think the audience is there are so many different audience. And I was surprised by the past that sometimes people who are not really close to the art world, or who are not very familiar with museums or galleries, have a real interest in my work. And I'm very touched by this, because it means that it can touch anybody. So I think it's important to be accessible also to the majority of people.
If you were not a visual artist, what other career do you think you would have pursued?
Oh my God, I don't know. Maybe musician, because it was my first passion. So I loved to be to be in bands. So, when I was younger, I was in this carnival band in the suburb of Paris, and we were playing Caribbean music for carnival, and I really love it, because I don't know, maybe once again it's an attraction for the collective, but I loved to be in community and have the same passion, and also the impact of music in the Caribbean carnival is so powerful, musically, but also in the society. It's practice that it's still important today. So you have the impression to keep a tradition living. So yeah, maybe musician.
What are you excited about right now?
I am excited to continue my work. It's maybe very common to say that, but I think we are lucky as artists to have a work where we can live with it, and also I really enjoy to work the whole day on my projects, on my upcoming pieces, and that's my everyday excitement. But also in terms of what is next. I have a big project in Paris, so I'm working on a upcoming solo show at the National Pantheon. And it's very exciting because it's a very huge monument with a lot of symbolics about the history of France. And it's a commission from the French Ministry of Culture, and it's related to the abolition of slavery. So that project, it's very excited for me right now.
Exciting and important.
Yeah, exactly.
In school, art school, how do you feel art professors impacted your creativity?
It's complicated to answer this question because I used to be in France when I was studying at the Beaux-Arts, the fine art school in Paris. The way of teaching is very different than the one I could have at Hunter College in the US. In France, it was really based on a studio practice, and the teacher was just giving some advices, but he was not really present. So at the same time, we were very free and sometimes a bit lost, but at the same time, it was interesting because in a way, this absence could give us the opportunity to be who we are personally, and we had a lot of freedom. When I was in the US, it was a little bit more in a way, I had classes of painting, of printing, art history class, and it was a little bit more, how do you say, a bit less free, in my opinion. So I didn't really think I had, when I was a student, that I had a teacher who really changed my way of working. I will say that the students around me really did the job because collectively we were giving advices, feedbacks on the work, and it really helped me. And that's fun because today I have the same group of friends, and we were at school 12 years ago. So you see how important it is.
How would you define Black art?
It's not a simple question, but I think what touched me in what we can define Black art as Black art is a sense of community, once again. I really feel that maybe the underrepresentation that we had during years and decades in the art world and in the art history, we had a kind of answer to it and give our vision of what we were as also a community. And, if I see a painting of Kerry James Marshall depicting, a neighborhood scene with different characters, if I see, once again, a collage of Romare Bearden depicting a scene in Harlem, if I see Jacob Lawrence presenting the Great Migration from the south to the north, all these Black artists were really, in a way, representing also just not them, but also the community where they were part of. But of course, we also have other examples. So Sam Gilliam, for example, who is a very good artist, and I am totally fan of his work. Maybe because it's an abstract work, you don't have this feeling, but mainly I think about this when I speak about Black art, a care of the people around us as artists.
What does your workspace look and feel like?
My studio is really full. I don't have a big space. For economic reason in Paris, it's more and more complicated to have big spaces. I'm working on it. I'm looking for a bigger space. But right now I own a small studio. I mean, it's enough for my work for now, but it's very full of things because I have a practice of textile, of painting, of printing. So I have 6 screen printing machines. I have all my frames of printing. I have, of course, all my material of painting. And also a lot, but really a lot of fabrics, lasers, any kind of fringes, glitters, and I have a lot of objects too. So as I said, I started to collect works from young artists. I have also some a lot of images and composition that I am working on big boards on my walls. So it's really full.
This has been a great interview. This is our last question, and that is, what do you feel is the purpose of art? And as an artist, what is your role?
I will say that, of course, art is a space of expression. So as an artist, I mean, I give my sensibility and my vision of the world. And because I am in a visual language, I try to work with all these codes of representation. So I do many figurations. So all my work was since the beginning, since I was a student, I was questioning, this history of representation from the court portraits from the Western countries, throughout many centuries to now, and how the representation had an impact on who we are today. And I really think that artists shape a global vision. And I'm pretty sure that life is impossible without art. And also, during the pandemic, we saw that art was really essential and important because people were stuck in their apartment and they had to just do things, listen to music, read books, and see art and movies I think we have a short existence, and it's really better to think this existence related to art because it's your subjectivity. So as a single person, it's very important to say who you are and to express yourself and to give your sensitivity to the world.
Thank you for your contribution. And I'm glad you came to the U.S. to study and to share your art with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to Cerebral Women Art Talks podcast. For additional content, please visit cerebralwomen.com and be sure to follow Cerebral Women on Instagram.